It's time for the hottest show in America. It's time for the Al Rucker Show, where you get the 411 from A to Z, special guests, and much, much more. So buckle up for a wild, wild ride. The Al Rucker Show starts now.
Thank you for tuning in to the Al Rucker Show. You got myself. You got Terry, comedian Grossman.
Trying to pass it, man.
I refuse
You're from
to
Dallas.
take that
You
from
should
you.
take this, baby.
I refuse to take that from you.
Do like Diggy.
What are you trying to
take this? Take this. Take this.
You so retarded.
And
you got Nikki Woods.
Roll, baby.
What kind of dance is that?
No, that's the hip hop dance. You know, back in the day, you used to pop lock.
Come
on, Al. You used to dance. I saw your old school videos.
Oh yeah, I did it. I was the man. I won all the break dancing contests.
There it is.
Oh my goodness.
My killer move was a spit on the head.
That was just spit on the head.
Is that what happened?
Yeah.
Oh man, I killed him.
Yeah.
That explains some things.
I killed
Explain his house.
What you trying to say?
I'm just saying. Extended spinning on the head could explain some things.
It can. What did you do back in the day?
I didn't do that.
What did you do?
I didn't do that.
Roller skate.
I did roller. Well, actually, I rollerbladed.
You blade?
I did rollerblade.
Oh, man, you missed out on the good stuff.
That's where I'm
then.
from.
Blade came
But when I
in
got
the
to
90s.
but when I got to Chicago, I had to go back and refresh the whole roller skating
Thank
thing.
you. Come on now.
It's a lot easier on four wheels than it is on just that.
I played. I used to blade when it first came out.
Did you blade?
Yeah.
Gross,
I still
you
have
blade?
my blades.
You do?
Yeah.
Me too.
Do it all.
We go rollerblading sometime.
You ain't ready. You probably put pads on, helmet.
Right.
You do the white
safety
thing.
first. Yeah, safety first.
She do the white thing. I do the hood thing. Nothing. Just get it and put them on and take off.
It explains a lot about you too. Explains a lot about you too.
So what's been up, Nikki?
We got, you know what? Election week, it's just been a lot going on. I mean, I was so proud of the way that a lot of people turned out at the polls to do early voting. So congrats on that. Just all of the talk. I mean, it was really phenomenal. And then just to see some of the iconic images of like Ava DuVernay and Oprah and, what's her name? I just lost it. The lady running for governor, Stacey Abrams. And then to see Obama and Andrew Gilliam from Florida. I mean, it was just amazing to see everybody come together. I really wanted to see Oprah come knock on my door. Just
Come
Oprah.
on now.
It's Oprah. But just congrats to everybody that went to the polls. That's the most important thing. Obviously, we want the turnout, or we wanted it to go the way we wanted it to go, but just to show up is important too. So we'll talk a little bit about some of the stuff that happened, and we've got just a lot of talk we have to get caught up on. So
Definitely.
A lot of serious talking going on.
now we got some fun stuff too. Promise.
You sure?
Yes.
All
We're going to
right.
solve problems with Ask Al. We have got Ass of the Week out front, a lot of good stuff. So yes, we're going to solve problems, but we're going to have fun too. And of course, a lot of great music. We're so glad that you are with us. So just more coming up. So stay tuned.
Thank you for tuning back into the Al Rucker Show. And we're doing Hot Topics, right?
We are. We had daylight savings time, so we had to fall back an hour. Does it bother you? Does that hour bother you?
It does.
Really?
Yeah, it does.
You find yourself tired and stuff like that?
Early.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It didn't
You gotta
used
get
to
used
bother
to it.
me, but now it does. Now I notice it.
You passed 40.
Well, but
that
that
what
doesn't
it
have
is?
anything to do with it.
He trying to be funny. He
I
said
mean,
he said you sleepy.
You sleepy.
Well, but that's anyway. But they say that twice a year switching between daylight savings time and standard time throws off our routine, and that there are some surprising health effects to this. So one is appetite. So it says it affects your appetite because your body starts to expect food at a certain time, and then when that hour changes, it throws that off.
It doesn't bother me though. I didn't really notice it.
Well, and you know what? I think why you don't notice it as much anymore, because you don't have to physically change a lot of your clocks. Like you used to have to go back and physically change every single clock,
Yeah, but
Yeah.
and now you
updated.
really don't anymore. You just have to change maybe a couple of them.
Clock, one by the bed. That's really the only one you need to change. Because everything else is on your phone.
Yeah.
You have
And
you have like
well-
one of those old school alarm clocks.
Yeah, wake you up. And Al, he got to change all his clocks. He got all his stuff. All his watches. He got to change all the time on that. Or
That's
he just
funny.
leave them like that.
They say it
To
also
next
affects
year.
your.
He's so retarded.
They say it also affects your mood because as we go into the fall, when you lose that hour, it also affects how happy you are.
So how's your
For
mood?
real? By the change of the clock?
The change of the clock, and I guess going into the colder weather, the darker weather. It's drearier. It's not as much sunshine sometimes. It is here in Texas, but in some areas it's not. So I don't really think it affects me at
doesn't
all.
at all?
I don't think so.
So you're the same regardless.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, it doesn't make me any less moody or any more moody than I normally am.
So you admit that you are a moody person.
I don't know if moody is the right word, but I certainly am emotional. And so if I'm like passionate about stuff, I can get
Start crying and stuff.
not necessarily
you
cry, but I can get feisty.
Can't take you to the movies.
I cry at every single movie I go to.
Don't be emotional.
I do. I don't
Are
know if
you
you guys-
leaving?
I don't-
I'm leaving. Don't leave him.
I don't know if you all believe in like horoscope signs or whatever. What side are you?
You don't want to know.
What side are you seriously?
You don't, trust me, you don't want to know.
Answer the question.
Yeah,
I'm a
Pisces.
Gemini.
Yeah.
Oh, well, that
yeah.
makes perfect sense.
Yeah.
What are you,
See,
Al?
So actually
I'm a
roll eyes.
Capricorn.
Perfect sense.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm
Okay.
a Capricorn.
You got-
I don't know
Shout
much
out to
about.
Geminis. You know they hate us.
Oh my, because you all have two distinct personalities.
We do.
Really,
Yes,
but
sir.
I'm a Cancer, so we're like emotional. That's like our
Yeah.
thing, and so yeah, I cry at every single movie.
You cry?
I will cry at every single movie. Not like boo hoo cry, but like shed a tear.
Shed a tear.
Cry
Yeah.
the end of the month too. Every month you cry. Huh? Here come that bill again.
No, I don't cry at bills. I don't cry at bills.
She looks at bills and look at me.
And
You don't scare me.
I give him the death.
Just a bill.
I give him the death stare. That's
I'm just a
funny.
bill.
We
You're
went.
just
Have
a
you
bill.
heard of that movie Bohemian Rhapsody?
No, I haven't.
You haven't heard of it at all?
No, I haven't.
So it's based on Queen, the group Queen, and Freddie
Oh, yeah,
Mercury
yeah,
and his
okay,
life.
okay.
And so we went to go see that over the weekend. And at the end, I mean, and most people I think will cry at the end just because of the end of it. But I was just, my son is like, really, Mom? Like, did you know him personally? Like,
Oh wow.
like, what is going on? I was like,
Did
but
you really cry?
Well, it's sad. If you know the story at all, you know that, it's sad. I don't want to give away the movie, but, they do the big Live Aid concert, and that was just really like the Queen's comeback.
I bet you cried when Co-Chief died, huh?
Oh, God. Yeah.
How do I?
You can't even hear the song anymore without, without it, catching you up. No, I
She get
can't.
ready to cry now. She get ready to cry now, Co-Chief.
I just
How
thought of
do
it.
I?
I know. See, exactly.
Go
If
to
you
cry.
were on
You
tune,
better
I
not
would.
cry.
If you were on
Sheesh.
tune, I would cry a little bit. But
He
you
can
got
really
up to-
he can really sing.
How do
You gonna cry for
I?
real?
Yeah, look
I
at her.
am
She's
not
quiet.
getting ready to
Yeah, I
cry.
was all a little
Quiet.
glasses.
She's getting ready to cry.
I am
Somebody out there's crying right now.
Yeah, no. Have
Did
you
you-
ever cried
Now.
at a movie?
Mm,
Have you ever cried at a movie?
Co-Chief.
no.
You
cried-
never cried when Co-Chief died. You
No,
didn't
no,
cry.
no, no. Only movie that gets me teary eyed is Rocky.
Really? Like when he overcomes and he
and the bodyguard.
What is the chick's
And the
name?
bodyguard.
The bodyguard.
Did you really say the bodyguard?
The bodyguard. That's one of my favorite movies.
This
You
is-
don't like the bodyguard?
this is
Going
not-
to commercial and
That's
we'll
one
be
of my
right
favorite movies.
back.
This is not a safe place.
I'm
I'm
You
telling you.
serious?
The bodyguard was the
Man.
You didn't like the
nobody
bodyguard?
cried off no bodyguard. Why? When he kissed her?
Yes.
That's why you cried?
Yes.
All right. Well, we will be back. I'm glad we learned
Shout
more
out to
about that.
Co-Chief.
We will be back. We've got Power Up on the way. Also, more hot topics and a lot of great music, including Beyonce, Lil Duval, and Keisha Cole. Should Have Let You Go, one of my favorite songs. I might shed a tear on that one. Stay tuned. We will be back with more on the Al Rucker Show.
You should let him go.
Thank you for tuning back into the Al Rucker Show. You got myself, Al Rucker. You got
Comedian.
comedian.
Grossman.
Okay, well, he wanted to go and announce himself. You know your name. What's your name, son?
What's in your wallet?
You want to do that commercial?
It's like we're doing like 4 different commercials at one time.
I would love to do that commercial. Can you imagine me, you, and Nikki in that commercial?
Oh my God, it'd be a great commercial.
You know what commercial we're talking about?
What's in your wallet?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'll be good. Because I like the one where
I just get to hold the card.
you get
Yeah.
you got Samuel, Charles Barkley, and Spike Lee. I'm
You Spike Lee.
no. You Spike Lee. No, you Charles Barkley. You Charles
Spike
Barkley.
Lee. Let me see you walk.
You Charles, you
That's
Charles Barkley.
funny.
You Charles Barkley.
Oh, my
I'm
goodness.
Sam. I'm Sam. And then we'll figure out what Nick.
Tara Banks.
Yeah, Tyra Banks. Thank you.
Mhm.
Okay.
So that just reminded me, they had so many funny, go out and vote. They had songs and they had commercials. Did you see the one that The Rock did with Kevin Hart?
No, I haven't seen that one.
Oh, it was so funny. It was on his Instagram. He literally is like cradling Kevin Hart like a baby.
Yeah, he always does that.
That reminded me of the whole Spike Lee thing, but it was like funny. It was just like a get out the vote thing, but they were amazing.
Hilarious.
Yeah, he always does that.
Them two together is hilarious.
It is.
Kevin
Hart,
and
The Rock.
The
It
Rock.
was so funny. So people came out with their sexiest man of 2018. It was not The Rock, and it was certainly not Kevin Hart.
Mm-hmm.
Wasn't you either, Grossman. It was Idris Elba. Like Idris Elba. Like we all couldn't have guessed that ahead of time.
No, I wouldn't have thought that either. So when was the last time
What do you mean you wouldn't have thought that?
No, because when was the last time a black guy was nominated?
Well, I think that they got some flack because last year I think everybody thought it was going to be Idris, and they didn't name him. So I think this is kind of a makeup for that. But I can't remember when the last one is. That's a good question. Good question.
Probably Sidney Poitier.
Well, in 1952.
Exactly.
No, but that's a good question. But I mean, I couldn't have thought of anybody else that I thought would have made it.
Really?
No, not really. Not sexiest man of 2018. Like of the whole year. Maybe like October, but not the whole year.
So who would be your October man of the year?
Well, I liked Michael B. Jordan. In October. He had a lot of good stuff on his Instagram. I go by people's Instagram, like what kind of pictures they posted on their Instagram. He had a lot of good stuff on his Instagram in October.
Is that what it is?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, he did. In fact, it was like my
She saw
sister
something
was sending me.
really liked.
I know my sister would text me pictures of him so I could go check them out because they were really good. So
He had underwear on.
no, he didn't, but that's okay.
Yeah. 2-minute man.
What is it? What does that have to do with the 2-minute man?
I don't know. You tell me. You want song?
Oh, well, no.
You retarded. you don't get it.
Silly.
You
So
get
if you had to vote for a woman, sexiest woman of the year, who would it be?
Oprah.
Yeah, I'll say Oprah.
Oprah, yeah. And what about Oprah makes her incredibly sexy?
She's a
Natural.
billionaire.
She's a natural.
She's a natural billionaire.
Oh,
Okay.
She don't have to be a millionaire. She's still sexy. to me.
You think she's just physically? You think Oprah's sexy?
Yeah, man. I like them like that.
You like him? You like him
Like what?
fat?
Dick.
He like him.
She's not fat.
No. She's not fat, but he said you like him thick.
Oprah thick.
Let's say thick. Yeah,
Oprah
let's
thick.
go
I
with
like
thick.
One hamburger away.
No, she can be a pizza away. She's still sexy with me.
You like thick women, huh?
Oh man, you understand?
What is it about a thick woman that you like?
Always hot.
You mean sweating?
You said that.
Not like hot, sexy hot. You mean sweating hot?
Oh, they hot. Everything about them is hot.
Okay.
You like a sweaty woman.
Yes, hot.
Okay. Well,
Okay.
I'm getting uncomfortable.
Oh, you really?
Yes, we are. We have power
Look
up.
Listen,
Right,
Judge,
whatever.
I wasn't there.
Yeah.
I ain't had nothing to do with that, Judge.
We've got power up on the way. Also, out front, Ask Al, and a lot more, including more hot topics and a lot of great music. So stay right where you are. We
She
will
gonna
be
take
back
your
more
sofa.
and more
The only thing you got is a sofa, and she gonna take it.
on the Al Rucker
Put me on
Show.
the wood floor.
You got wood floors?
Yeah.
Thank you for tuning back into the Al Rucker Show. Al Rucker here. That's me.
That would be you.
That would be me.
That would be you.
You are Nikki Woods.
That I am.
And this is comedian Terry Grossman.
It's just comedian gross man, but it's Al Rucker Show.
You don't like your name? Terry?
It's cool, but you know.
You name it your daddy?
Mm-mm.
No.
No one.
No one?
I think I'm adopted.
For real?
Oh my goodness.
This man is crazy.
He
But
is.
But recently, so how's your mother doing?
She's doing good. They let her go.
They released her.
Yeah.
She was not feeling well, and so she went and got checked out, but she's
Well,
okay
she
now.
Yeah, she didn't even know she was like. My dad was like, "Nah, you don't look well," so he took her to the hospital, and she had fluid on her lungs and a lot of other stuff was going on. But they took care of her, and they let her go. I told her, you can't leave her unless you tell me where that money at. I said, "Mom, where the money at? Boy, stop playing."
And now, are you a mama's boy?
Yeah.
Are you an only child?
How
many?
It's four of us.
4 girls and boys, or
No,
just boys?
One girl and 2 other brothers.
Who's the oldest?
I'm third.
You're third?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So how is the oldest sibling?
My oldest sibling he's 54.
Wow.
Oh.
So y'all right behind each other, 54, 53, and 52.
Somewhere like that.
Really?
Yeah, because you 52, right?
50.
50. Okay. You can't.
Your mama's just tired. It's like, goodness.
Yeah, mom was off the train back in the day.
Wow. So
Still married though, you know what I'm saying? My
What?
mom and dad still married to this day.
so are mine.
Really? My mom and dad been together since she was 16 years old.
Oh no, they haven't been together that long.
Oh,
But
yeah,
well,
that's
they've been
a
married for like
long
50
time.
years, but they've been.
That is
they're
a
still
long
That's
married.
long. Could you be with a man 50 years?
I'm
Great
sure
topic.
I could. I could be with a man 50 years.
Really?
Yeah. I think.
Are you
that-
still married now?
I'm not still married.
No, you-
So
How long-
I couldn't be with
you
that
couldn't.
man 50
Well, you can't be
years.
with a man 50 years then.
Well,
You
could
got
you?
you got to overcome
You
some
got
stuff.
50 more. You got 50 more to give me?
I mean, not with me, with somebody else.
No, I'm just teasing you. But if I was the man, could you give me 50?
What was your question now? What were you saying?
He asked the question.
No, answer the question. Could you give me 50? Could you?
I
All right,
think
absolutely. Could you give me 10?
You are a Gemini.
Could you give me
so
10?
it really would be 25 and 25. 25 with each personality.
He just asked you a question though.
Could I give you 10?
Could you give me 10?
I don't know. Comedians are difficult. Y'all tend to be difficult.
We are.
Yeah.
I think y'all do make a good couple.
Al, don't start nothing.
No, I'm just saying.
Started, Al.
I'm just-
Started.
I'm just saying.
No, I'm just
He like him.
See, she jumped. She can't handle that. Can't handle the tiger.
Yeah, I cannot handle the tiger. I'll let you have that one. I could not
Go
handle
ahead,
that.
Al. Go ahead, Al.
You can't handle the tiger.
Do women have problems though dating you seriously? Because I would think it would be difficult dating
Why
a
gotta be
comedian.
just me?
Well, I mean comedians in general.
Thank you. That's pretty hard.
Yeah, because most of your life ends up on stage.
Yeah, he does.
Most of it.
And that would be, I
most
think,
of
would
it-
be difficult.
No, you can change. You don't have to have your whole life on stage.
But the
I
thing
don't
about
put my life on stage.
you don't put your life on stage.
But none of what happens in your life ends up on stage.
No.
No.
Really?
No.
I don't believe that.
Ask Al. He come to my show. He know.
Yeah.
None of it.
I mean, he the women that he brings to the show, they all just love him.
Okay. Oh.
And back to you.
No, don't come back to me.
Yeah,
Don't come back to me. I just think it's interesting. It's like every comedian that they're just, I don't know.
Have you ever dated a comedian?
Have I ever dated? No.
You wouldn't
no.
know.
No, I haven't.
No.
No.
All right, listen.
I mean, I've gone out with a comedian, but I've never been
She
in a
married one.
relationship in a comedian. I
Oh, you
did
never?
not.
He was a joke.
Oh,
That ain't your baby father.
It is my baby's father.
Okay, he's
Thank
not a
you.
joke. I'm
So
sorry.
how many kids do you have?
I have two sons.
Oh, really? You did good.
Yeah, one turned 17 yesterday,
Really?
and one is 15.
Oh, wow. That's good. You did good.
How many kids you have, bro?
I don't have any kids.
That is so. What's up?
Ain't nothing wrong with me.
I,
Don't be looking at me. She looking
I
at me
didn't
like,
say
all right,
anything was
then.
He just hadn't found nobody that can tame the tiger.
I can see how that would be an issue. Can see how that would be an issue.
Tiger.
You should try dating a comedian. It's really fun. We're really fun people. Listen, take your phone out. 281.
We are going to go to Power Up after this. We're going to take a quick break. We got more music. Also, Ask Al, Out Front, and Ass of the Week. All of that is on the way on the Al Rucker Show.
Thank you for tuning back into the Al Rucker Show. You got myself, Al Rucker. You got comedian Grossman.
We
You
don't
got
know
Nikki
we
Woods.
don't know for how much longer.
We got
It's
Nikki
testament.
Woods. And we got my brother. This is really my brother. This is my brother.
Yes,
my
You know what I'm saying? We both dark skinned.
Yes,
With
it
the
is.
beard,
The
the bald
beard, the bald heads,
Yes, it is.
tattoos.
Yeah.
It is.
All
This
of
is
that.
Power Up. This is my boy
Power Up,
Jay.
yes. Jay Jackson. He
JJ.
has more than
JJ.
20 years of leadership and organizational development experience in high stakes environments, and he uses it to radically transform the trajectory of leaders and their organizations. He is a U.S. Air Force veteran, and he just has done some phenomenal things. He posts a lot of good content on LinkedIn, and I'm so glad to be connected to him. I'm so glad that you're here with us today. So tell me a little bit about how you now are operating in this space. You've left, the U.S. Air Force. You've done a lot of things. You're an entrepreneur. You coach leaders to be better selves. How did you get to this place?
Through my own pain, man. When I transitioned out of the Air Force, it wasn't my choice. I pissed off some high-ranking officials.
That'll do it.
Yeah, but I also think that it was time for us to go our separate ways, right? Like I really believe like I had outgrown that space that I was in, but of course I had to go through my own personal transformational process of figuring out, who I am, what the true purpose is for my life, having the faith to just really, go after your goals, your dreams, and even first just establishing that vision, because we all just kind of go through the motions of what mom and them, daddy and them told us we supposed to do, with our lives.
Yeah, and I think transformation is kind of a tricky thing because I think that people can transform, I guess, like by accident sometimes. I mean, I think that we all have to go through the process, but I know that you are very good about teaching us how to transform intentionally. So what is the process if we decide, okay, we've got, there's got to be something else for us. There's got to be something better in life. How do we transform intentionally?
The first step I would say is sit down and do what we've been taught. Just reflect, right? Just look at your entire life as far back as you can possibly go. If it's 3 years old, whatever little moment you can recall, go back and just look at every experience that you've ever had in your life. And you'll come to the realization that you got yourself into that and you also got yourself out of that, and that's not to negate that there isn't a God or anything like that, right? But at the same time, we have to take responsibility. And then when you're doing that, you'll really discover what you have inside of you, right? Like what you're capable of doing. And each experience gives you a clearer glimpse into what you're really capable of doing. And so going through what I went through when I transitioned out of the military, because I was fighting some high-ranking individuals, was I terrified? Yeah, but, I felt like I was fighting for my life. And so when I look at that situation, it took me to a totally different level of thinking, a totally different level of being and doing, right? And so now when I go into any situation, a business meeting, whatever it might be, any scenario that a challenge we're facing, I really look at it and say like, yo, you've been through more than this before. Stay focused, keep grinding, and eventually things will open up for you.
Yeah, my dad, it's like whenever I go to him and I'm having like an issue and it's something that I think that I'm just not going to possibly be able to, overcome, he always says, check your track record. Because we forget, like in each instance, like all the other things that we've been able to overcome in life. So all he says is check your track record, and then I'm back on point. But that's fascinating. Yeah. What's the second step?
The next step I would say is once you figure that out, get a vision, right? No matter how big or small you choose to make it be, because it is totally your call on how big you want that thing to be. If you want to be international, if you want to have world domination like somebody like Amazon or something like that, right, then put your mindset on world domination. And then you start to surround yourself with the right people, read all the books that you can possibly read, and get all the mentorship and coaching that you can possibly receive, so that you can stand on the shoulders of those giants. Like I tell people, like if I read a John Maxwell book, this guy's 80 years old and he's got more than 50 years of leadership experience that gives you insight and perspective that you just won't get if you don't take the chance to read the book.
No, absolutely. And then finally, what's the last thing that we need to do?
Execution, man. You got to get up and go get it. You got to get up and grind every single day. Yeah. Nobody's going to give it to you. There's going to be some people that's going to try to take it from you. And when it's threatened, you got to threaten it back. You got to be willing to stand up and say like, yo, this is what I want for me, my family, my future generation, my legacy, whatever that might be. If you want it, you're going to have to come take it. So let's go. Yeah.
So I think one interesting thing that you said, and I tell people this all the time. I mean, I think that we know when it's time for a situation to be done. Like we know when it's time for us to move on from a job or a relationship or whatever it is. And when we hang on too long, something is going to happen. Whether you piss off the higher ups or you get fired or, they break up with you, that, it's like God's like, I gave you all the chances, to make this decision on your own. How do you tell people to, or advise people how to deal with that? Because a lot of times we get so stuck in that feeling of rejection that it's hard to kind of move past that to the next thing. So just one quick tip before we let you go on how you can deal with that heartbreak from either losing the job or the relationship or whatever.
Yeah, really just take it as an experience. Take it truly as an experience. Take it as a lesson learned. I mean, if your wounds are deep, You got to take some time and heal those deep wounds, but you do whatever you got to do to heal yourself, get back on the horse and keep riding, man. Life is just a bunch of experiences. We're a bunch of, I think, kids on a journey of just learning and growth and development until we get to the end. So whatever you go through, man, just take it in stride and keep on riding. It's going to be all right.
Absolutely. You can connect with Jay on social media. And what's your website, Jay?
www.mrjjackson.com.
I always like the way he puts the Mister in front of everything.
Right? Is that your logo on your shirt?
Well, this is the logo for my company, the Galaxy Group.
Okay, cool.
That's what's up.
That's what's up, man.
He has a company.
Understood.
The Galaxy
What do
Group.
you have?
I have a
Oh,
company.
Lord.
He has a
We
company.
talked about transformation.
Yeah, we transformed.
Okay.
We
We
transformed.
transformated.
We're transforming. You ever watch Transformers?
Oh, good.
Yeah, man.
Did you get emotional?
Nah, I ain't getting
Nah,
emotional.
me neither. They got emotional. They got emotional doing
I did.
Transformers.
When Bumblebee, yeah.
Dude,
I-
They
crying
got
in
emotional.
traffic.
That's the difference. You see what happens? We are called.
Don't come to LA, you crying in traffic.
Exactly. We are what. See, my boy Jay and I. That's JJ.
Yeah.
He go,
yeah,
Jay.
Okay.
Understood.
We are what they call Mandingo
Okay.
Right.
warriors. It takes a lot to make us cry. We don't cry with Transformers.
Mr. J. Jackson, thank you so much for hanging out with us during Power Up. I won't call either of you all.
See you later,
Mandingo.
JJ.
I appreciate y'all. Have a
Did you
good one,
vote?
man.
Thank you.
Did you vote?
No, sir.
What the?
No, sir.
Why?
I don't participate in those activities, brother. I don't.
Oh man, that's a whole other conversation. We got to talk
It
about this.
is.
Absolutely.
Oh Lord, have mercy.
Maybe you can explain to us why. Go San Francisco.
Not the San Francisco 49ers. I'll go Kaepernick.
Oh yeah.
All right, we got more of the Al Rucker Show on the way. We've got Ask
He's
Al.
smart. He knew what I was talking about.
Yeah. He's a Mandingo.
Oh,
Us black people, we know what's going on.
go ahead.
All right, come on.
I appreciate y'all.
All right, man. Take it easy, JJ.
All right, y'all.
All right, we have a lot in store for the show. We got what?
We have Out Front, Ask Al, and Ask of the Week all on the way on the Al Rucker Show.
Thank you for tuning back into the Al Rucker Show with this thing we call Hot Topics. And I think Grossman's going to lead us off.
Oh, gosh.
What we got going on, Nikki?
Nikki
Well,
just
you know
hates
what?
me.
The whole Trump administration. I mean, it's with this being, with us being in the, the middle. Well, actually, now at the end of the midterm elections. I mean, just so many people were coming up, out against Trump and this and sort of thing. And we talked about how people have asked that he stop playing their music. Pharrell threatened a lawsuit if he didn't, send a cease and desist if he didn't stop. And now Rihanna has come out. He played one of Rihanna's songs at a rally, and she has done the same thing. She was like, "You are not allowed to play my music for anything that you do." And if she needs to, it's kind of serious. And I guess, if you feel so strongly against somebody that you really wouldn't want their music, your brand associated with them. I mean, I get it. But I just think it's just so sad that this is like our president. And like, just,
It's the most hated.
but most well deserved. I mean, it's not like, it's like he just woke up and people hate him. I mean, he's done so many
he does
things.
Yeah. I believe the midterm election is going to prove to him. I think it's going to be a big turn. It's going to be a big boost for the Democrats. I
Well,
believe.
they said that they wanted, going into the midterm elections, and now that it's done, they said they wanted this to be the message to Trump, that this, that Democrats, need to stand up and put us in a better position. If you're a Democrat, put us in a better position for the next election, so that we can put somebody in place that really is going to have America as a whole, their best interest at heart. And unfortunately, I just don't think that we have that. I don't think that the president cares at all about the majority of the people that he is supposed to govern. So I think that is a big issue. And, it's not about being Republican. It's not about being this or being that. I mean, I just don't think that he just has the best interest of America as a whole at heart.
Who do you think would be a good president for our country?
I'm still trying to get Obama reelected. I don't know. I really
come back.
I
You
really
can't come
wanted
back.
oh gosh, what's his name? Joe. the vice president.
Joe Biden.
Joe Biden. I really wanted Joe Biden to run. I thought
Joe would have did a good job.
I think he would have done a good job. I think that he is a unifier, and I think he's a supporter. And sometimes that's what you need in a leader. I mean, you surround yourself with people who may be the military minds and the this mind and that mind. But I think that he brought people together, and I think that he probably learned a lot just sitting next to President Obama. So I was excited.
They made a great team.
Yeah, unfortunately, his son died, and that changed his plans. But I still have hope.
Yeah, I can't see Joe running. I think mainly because of his age.
That's a good point. That's a good point.
I mean, the one person I hate that did not run again was Al Gore. I believe Al should have ran again.
Al was kind of, to me, and I don't really remember, but it seemed like he was kind of wishy-washy. Didn't he have like a kind of a wishy-washy reputation?
No, he was with Clinton, but I don't think that. I think when he won. And then Bush came and took it back. I think that took a lot of. They took a lot out of him. They took a lot of steam out of him.
Agreed.
And I believe he should have, even though that I forgot how long that scenario played on, but he should have. I think he should have fought that a little bit harder than just basically going ahead and letting Bush and them take that from him. But he should have came back and
But
ran.
you know what? And I think that there's a lot that we don't see. So I think there's a lot of negotiating that goes on behind the scenes. And I think somebody went to Gore like, look, this is what's going to happen. Yeah, I absolutely do.
But this is my thing. Who is going to run against Trump from the Democratic Party? I don't see anybody. I don't see no superstar. I don't see a superstar.
That's the reason why I asked the question, because I don't see no one running.
Yeah, I don't see a superstar.
Yeah, I
If
don't
we win
think-
again, it's going to be.
I don't think Hillary can do it.
No.
I don't know if Andrew Gilliam, if he's quite ready to run for president.
Well,
I
he's
think
governor. He's going to be governor.
Yeah, but they'll give that up to run for president.
Yeah, but I don't see him. I don't see him.
I don't think he's ready.
Yeah.
I think that if he does, the governorship, and I think maybe in 2 elections, I don't know if he's ready for this one. I can't think of anybody.
Yeah, I don't know nobody.
It's going to have to probably be somebody we are not familiar with.
Yeah, it's going to have to be. But right now, there is nobody out there.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't see anybody. And we will find out after the midterms, because once the midterms over with,
it's like a horse race. That's when people start separating
so
themselves.
for the next 2 years, you're going to see people battling for who's going to be president. But I believe a Republican is going to challenge Trump for his seat.
Absolutely, because that is a party divided.
Yeah, that party's divided. So someone's going to challenge him on that.
Absolutely. So we're going to learn more about things that you're doing right around the country, Comedian Grossman. We're going to talk about that shortly.
Thank you.
Yeah. We will be back. We have a lot of good stuff on the way, including a lot of great music and much, much more, including the very talkative Comedian Grossman. He will be back after this on the Al Rucker Show.
Already.
Thank you for tuning back into the Al Rucker Show. And we're at that segment we call Ask Al, which happens to be all of our favorite segment. I wonder why.
So we got a letter. Says, Dear Al, my boyfriend and I have been together for 5 years, but recently we broke up because I found out he was cheating, and this is not the first time. He says he's sorry, but my heart and my mind are no longer on the same page. I'm tired of feeling like his doormat, and even though I forgive him, I'm struggling with forgetting all the lies and deceit he has put me through. We are definitely in a bad place. Al, do you think it's actually possible to forgive and forget a cheater, or is it just a figure of speech guys use after they mess up? What's your advice on removing the negative thoughts in my mind so he and I can get past this bad chapter in our lives? Signed, Heartbreak in Houston.
There's a thing called forgiveness. She got to forgive him.
She says she does forgive, but she can't forget.
Well, that's what I'm saying. She ain't forgave him yet. You never going to. No. I mean, you can't. She's letting that haunt her. She can't let that haunt her.
Well, I don't know if it haunts, but I think that when you can forgive somebody, but know that their behavior may not change, because this isn't the first time. I could see if it was the first time, maybe forgiving and forgetting and moving on is possible, but this isn't the first time. So she knows that his behavior more than likely will not change. So you can forgive somebody and release them from, your space and let them go do them and you go do you.
Yeah, but that's not, I don't think, and we pretty much trying to say the same thing, but I think at the end of the day, if you truly forgive somebody, you kind of let that past be the past and you just move on past it. You can't hold on to that. She's still holding on to it.
But she didn't have to move on with him.
But she's choosing to. If she
she's asking you.
Well, I'm telling her, if she loves him, then she has to truly forgive him and move past that.
And stay with him.
Yeah, if she loves him. Yeah, if she loves him. mean, if she truly loves him, you gon' you know.
But she says that her heart and her mind are no longer in the same place. She's
But she
tired
needs-
of
she
feeling
needs to
like a
move on.
doormat.
She needs to move on.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I think
you-
if it was if you all they were because they're not married, they're just
No.
boyfriend and girlfriend. And I think if you were married, that I would say you might want to invest more time in trying to figure this out. But
Definitely.
if you feel bad and he makes you feel bad and he
Then she needs to
continues
move
with
on.
this behavior, then you should move on.
Yeah, she should move on.
Yeah.
Do they live together? Does
It
say that they
doesn't
live?
say.
It doesn't say.
Most likely they don't.
Yeah.
If he's cheating like that.
Well,
Wow.
if she forgave him once and he gonna do it again, then you must move on
Yeah.
because he's never gonna stop.
Yeah, and maybe it's just you take a break and he proves that he has gotten past it and he can be faithful. And if that's the case, then maybe you reconsider getting back with him. But I think if he continues to do this and you just forgive him and that
Well,
it's
if
just
they
going to
take
end
a
up
break and he don't cheat, then she definitely need to go back to him.
Well, she got to be the strong one in this, because if she caught him cheating, then she has to be the strong person in this relationship to move on.
yeah.
Because if you don't be the strong, he gonna take your weakness, he gonna run with it every time. I'm telling you, he's gonna stomp all over your heart. So if I was you, I'll be the strong one, move on, and you can still love him, but make him prove himself to you. That's what I would do.
Yeah, I agree. I think that's good advice.
All right. Boy, you got a little education in.
Ask gross, man. He'll tell you.
And then that proper voice came out too.
Yeah.
Yeah, did you hear the proper voice?
I heard the Papa voice.
You know, that's that interview voice.
I just got stopped by the police. voice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's
Not
what
Yeah.
that
ticket.
is.
Yes, man. I wasn't driving fast.
Have you ever been in a relationship where a woman cheated on you?
Yes. I
Really?
know.
And so how did you handle it? Were you able to move on or did you forgive her? What happened?
Well, I forget, but it's not gonna be. It's not the same anymore. The trust is gone. It's
But
not
did you stay in the
same.
relationship?
I tried,
Yeah.
but it was hard because if you just think if you're not in my presence, then you leave. But like she's
Then
out
you-
there doing
right,
something,
yeah.
even though you might not be doing anything. Yeah,
It's really when somebody
It's
betrays
difficult.
your trust, especially if you like give them 100% of your trust.
Right.
And then you find out that
Something you
they've
shouldn't
betrayed
do.
it. Well, I don't know. I mean, but I think that we don't make people prove themselves anymore. Like we find somebody, we think they're cute, we like them, they make us laugh, and then all of a sudden we're booed up. You know what I mean?
let me ask you a question. If you say you order a thing of grapes, do you eat all the grapes or you save some of the grapes? I mean, you need to save a percentage of your heart. Don't give it all to one person. You should save some of that.
And what do you do with it?
You just hold
You
on
just
to
hold
it.
on to it for
hold
you?
on to it. At least 1% of your 1% of your life you should hold on to. You never give somebody 100%.
I'm still stuck on the grapes.
Right.
it's fruit.
The
It's
whole
fruit.
analogy.
Because
was-
at the end
it's
of-
like fruit.
kind of
But if you
messed
just
us up.
hold on to them
Yeah,
and don't
they
eat
don't-
them,
you
they
eat
gonna
'em,
They
then
gonna
you get-
spoil. Exactly.
And guess what? Their relationship they about to spoil. It's no
no,
longer
you
it's
gotta
no
go buy some
good.
more grapes.
All right. Well,
That's what she should do. Go get you some more.
this has been Analogy Radio
Green
by
or red
comedian
grapes?
The
Grossman.
red grapes.
The red grapes, seedless or non-seedless,
Seedless.
just so you can just suck them down.
I don't know about that, Al.
Oh,
I
see,
don't
you just-
understand that part.
Oh,
of it.
you crazy, man. All right, let's go to break. You missing it, man.
Al is sucking on grapes.
We got Out Front on the
Some
way.
grapes.
Also, Ass of the Week. Much, much more on the Al Rucker Show.
Retarded, man. Thank you for tuning back into the Al Rucker Show, and we're at that segment we call Out Front with Nikki Woods. Nikki, who you got today?
Well, we are talking to two members of the Forrest family, and they sent me their bio, and I want to tell you all this great stuff. But I just love them, and they're doing so many great things. And so I want to introduce you to Nishante and Najee. Forrest Najee is a phenomenal baker, and we're going to tell you more about that in just a second. So welcome to the show, guys.
Thank you for having us. Thank you for having us.
No, I am so glad that you are here. I wanted to talk to both the mother and the daughter because I wanted to talk not just about what they're doing as a family and what Najee's doing, with her talents, but also how we can encourage other children to get involved in giving back to the community. So Najee, tell us a little bit about yourself and what it is that you do that's so phenomenal.
Well, my name is, everyone calls me Najee the Baker, and I'm the founder of Najee the Baker Angel Foundation. And the reason why I actually wanted to start baking was when my sister had a massive stroke in 2014.
And so give them a little bit more information on the health piece of it, because there's 4 girls. Is that right, Nishante? 4 girls?
3 girls with
Three
sickle
girls
cell
with
anemia.
sickle cell anemia. And so Najee, not just with the stroke, but also with the sickle cell, wanted to develop baked goods, learn how to bake baked goods that would not trigger the symptoms, correct?
Yes.
Okay. And so now you sell them, you give them away, and you do this in order, to help little kids really feel, I guess, that they can enjoy the parts of life that they before couldn't, which was eating baked goods, cakes and cookies and that sort of thing. Right?
Yes.
So tell us a little
Yes.
bit about what you have going on for November.
Well, in November, for Thanksgiving, I will be giving each family, free cakes that's made with natural and organic ingredients, so they can have a little slice of heaven on their table that's healthy, and so they can be able to enjoy.
Did you say a little slice of heaven?
Little slice of heaven.
Yes.
Very good. So tell us a little bit, Nishanta, tell us a little bit about sickle cell for people who are not familiar with it and what exactly that is and how it affects, people's health.
Sickle cell anemia is a hereditary disease. And for myself, with a blood disorder, I have the sickle cell trait, and my husband also has the trait too as well. So somehow that we did a genetic test on him, and we found out that all of his girls are sickly. So if we do decide to have more children together, all of our daughters will end up having sickle cell anemia. That's why our last 3 children were all girls, and they all came out with sickle cell anemia.
But not the boys.
Not the boys.
That's interesting.
Yeah.
That's interesting. And so knowing this beforehand, I mean, what was the conversation like when you decided you were going to have kids with the, obviously the chance that you could have girls?
I found out, I discovered that with our 3rd child, and my mom always told me that I had sickle cell trait, but she never discussed the severity of me getting, when I got older and I decided to have children of my own. She never told me, well, if you get with someone else and if they have a trait, it's a possibility that your children can come out with a full-blown sickle cell. So that was never discussed to us. We never had much awareness about the dangers of getting with someone else, not getting tested before you decide to have children.
But I know that I have the sickle cell trait, and I think that it's probably high. It's higher among people of color, correct, than it is among Caucasians.
Right, it is. But we do have some blue eyes, blonde hair people that have sickle cell anemia too as well. But they don't have the they don't have the SS like we do.
Okay. Because I know that I have the trait, but I don't think I've ever been talked to about what could possibly happen if I married somebody that had the trait and we had children and they ended up being sickly as well. So I think that's an interesting conversation that a lot of people are not having.
Exactly. And that's why we try to stress to the younger generation, if you're planning on having children, make sure you know your sickle cell status, because you don't want to bring an innocent child into the world filled with chronic pain. And it's so sad because those children can have massive strokes, they can have heart attacks, acute chest syndrome. So many different complications comes along with living with sickle cell anemia, especially if you're not eating healthy.
Right. And I know when I was teaching, I used to teach 5th grade, and I had a student, and she had sickle cell anemia, and she died during the school year because she had a massive stroke and they didn't get to her in time. And I think that's the first time I realized like how serious this disease could be. And so, awareness of what you can eat, what you can't eat, and how just, preventative care as far as health is concerned, how important that is in order to stop. What do you call them? Episodes? What do you call them?
We call them sickle cell crisis.
To prevent the crisis from happening, I think is super important. So before we let you go, just tell us just really quickly, how did you encourage Nazi to go ahead and pursue this and to, really, because she's out there in a big way. I mean, she's not, just doing this, part way. She's all the way in. How do you encourage her to sacrifice and do this?
I'm so proud of Najee, especially a lot of folks ask me, how do you do it? dealing with 3 daughters with sickle cell anemia, especially with nausea. Since she was 10, she came up with all of these different products. She started like experimenting with ingredients, and she came up with a product that when she bakes her healthy treats, they don't cause as much inflammation as store-bought treats. And we knew that she was onto something. And because of her baking their healthy treats, they have been thriving ever since. And our mission is to make sure educate other youths out there and other caregivers to let them know the importance of eating healthy, wholesome foods. Especially, a lot of us have sweet tooth. I know my family does. We try to encourage them to bake your own goods. Be very careful. Use Google as your tool to Google what's inflammatory foods, what's inflammatory ingredients, so that our babies can have a better quality of life and they can be able to live out their best dreams. And that's where nausea is.
Absolutely. So I'm just so proud of all of you. And I love you guys to death. Oh, you're welcome. Can you tell everybody? Can you tell everybody how they can find out more about you and your baked goods?
Yes, you guys can look us up on Najee. That's N as in Nancy, A as in Apple, Z as in Zebra, H as in Henry, I as in Indian, T as in Tom, H as in Henry, Edward, BAKER.com.
Very good. All right. Thank you, guys. We appreciate you being a part of the show, and we'll definitely check you out. I'll see you online, okay?
Thank you so much for having us.
You're welcome. Love you guys both. So just a little quick story about Nazi. She would tweet me every morning, like for a couple of years. And finally I had to figure out like who she was, what she was doing. And then I found out this phenomenal story about how she just wanted to give back, not just to her family, but to other kids who were suffering from sickle cell.
I think that's cool.
Yeah.
A sickle cell, I mean, can you have seizures off that? I don't know.
Yeah, there's a lot of different things. Wow. Strokes. I mean, it really is.
I know about the stroke, but I see people have seizures. I'm thinking maybe that's...
I don't know. I'm not a medical doctor. But aside from that, even on a good day, you can be in pain. I mean, there's a lot of chronic pain. So definitely finding ways to alleviate that is good. So we still got a little bit more show left. Ass of the Week is on the way.
Yeah, we need that. We're so serious right now. We need somebody to be an ass.
Well, yeah, you always have that covered for us, don't you? We'll be back with more We'll be back with more of the Al Rucker Show.
Thank you for tuning back into the Al Rucker Show, and with that segment we call Ass of the Week. Nikki, who is this person or who are these people?
Well, it's a single mom who said that she was tired. And so she decided that she was going to put her kids out of the car on the side of the road and left them there. She said she did it because she's tired. She can't raise them alone. It was a 9-year-old and a 19-month-old. And like I said, she didn't leave them on the side of the road, but she dropped them off near school, and she watched as a woman came to help them, adding that she thought it was a legal way to abandon her children. Wow. Can you even abandon them after 9? I mean, I know they have like the baby where you can drop them off at a hospital or something, and that's
a fire station.
A fire station or something where they consider that legal. But at 9 years old, you
can't do it at 9.
Yeah.
You can't?
No.
I don't think so, because
it's a certain age. I think it's 4. I think at 4.
Well, I don't even know about that.
Anyone know the legal age, please?
Yeah,
hit us up now so we'll know.
I ain't tripping.
But I just think it's interesting, and trust me, I get it. I mean, it can be overwhelming as a single parent, you know. And when you have a baby, I'm sure it's really. But this is what you signed up for. You know what I mean? Like this is now what you do. This is it.
Right.
This is it.
God, that's sad.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But ask Al.
Ask me what? I ain't never abandoned my kids.
And you never did that?
Never had the desire to do
Never.
that.
I was getting ready to say, and as tired as I get, and my kids are close together. So when they were babies, it was a lot. I mean, they're 16 months apart, so they're close. But I can't ever think of like, oh my gosh, I can't do this anymore. I'm just gonna leave them by the side of the road.
Just go in the other room.
Hello, ghost. That's what timeout is for.
Yeah, or just
that's
leave.
What TV is for.
Just leave, get in your car and drive, and come back.
No, you
You can.
No,
You just
you
leave.
can't.
Don't open this door for nobody.
You're right.
Don't open this door.
That is so
I heard
funny.
that a lot.
Yeah, I done heard that a ton of times.
I
was a
remember when
latchkey kid.
I could not wait till my kids were old enough that I could leave them at home and go to Walmart by myself. It was like a vacation.
Did you say
It was
Walmart?
Walmart. Walmart.
Walmart is interesting.
It is.
You ever just went to Walmart? and
There's
just
a
walked?
lot to do in Walmart.
It
There
is.
really
And-
is.
What
Not to
age
see.
did your kids get on your nerves?
They haven't stopped.
Well, what he meant to say in proper English was, when did they start getting on your nerves?
You know what? I have great
When your
kids.
kids
First,
got
let
on
me
your
say that
nerves.
I have great kids, but they're just always there, and so sometimes you just want them to because we're
Right.
close, so we hang out together, and so they enjoy hanging out. And if we're not just hanging out, their friends come and hang out. So I'm like, go to other people's houses.
What about the fathers? Do they go to their fathers? So like this young lady.
You
that
ask a
gave her
lot
kids-
of personal questions about my
That's
life.
not too personal. No, we talking about really. Then we just.
Their father is not as involved as I
And
think
that's
he
what
should
I'm
be.
saying. That, and probably
So-
with this young lady right here that gave her kids up. Where's the father?
Well,
in
but
this?
but you have but unfortunately there are fathers that are not involved. That's just it. And sometimes fathers like their
I'm
father
not gonna-
is.
If you don't contact the father, how would you know he didn't want his kids? If you hadn't talked to him, maybe she should
Sometime-
try calling.
Well, maybe she has. Maybe
It
she
doesn't
has tried
sound
calling
like
him.
it.
He's
Sound like
just
she said, "I'm tired of him. I'm gonna put him on the road."
maybe he's not in the picture. Maybe he doesn't do anything to help. Maybe he don't want to be there.
Okay, Maury.
Oh my God.
You got to realize Gross doesn't have any kids.
No, and you got to realize that our audience probably is like 85% single mothers.
Right, and you shouldn't give your kids
So-
up.
Well,
I'm just saying.
if you're going to give
you
them up,
can't.
take them somewhere. Take them to a relative's house or something. Don't drop them off on the side of the road. That's not the way to do
Because
it.
we already know ain't no more big mamas around. So
No, ain't no
gotta do
more
what we
big
gotta
mama.
No, because Big
No.
Mama's like 40 now.
No, 30.
I mean, seriously.
Yeah, Big Mama's like 30, 35,
Seriously?
maybe
Yeah,
40 at the end of the
40.
day.
Yeah, my
At the
sister's
club.
mid-40s and she's a grandmother.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
But she started. I mean, she had her first kid when she was like 21. I mean, she was married, but she was like 21.
But that's not young.
Not anymore.
No, I had my son at 21.
But I'm just saying. So there, the potential, because her daughter is 22 and has a baby. So I mean, the potential now to be a grandmother in your mid-40s
Yeah.
is great. You
Yeah,
know, it's right there.
big
Yeah.
mama
So,
sit on the couch, boy. Bring them all
Big
over
Mama
here.
going to the club.
Bring them all over
Big
here.
Mama ain't sitting on the
Oh,
couch
yeah.
anymore.
Well, that's what you used to do back in the days. You bring the baby over to Big
Big
Mama. She'll
Mama.
tell you if this your child or not. Gross, this ain't your baby.
It ain't your baby.
How you know? His nose too wide.
Well, we have had a good show, and we certainly
did.
appreciate everybody hanging out with us, including comedian Grossman.
I enjoy myself.
Yeah. Well, we're glad. And
You got
of
all
course,
the smile.
we
Look at all the smiles. That's
Yeah, okay.
All this for me.
Oh, that
Go
is
ahead.
for you. And of course, we're going to do it all again
You gonna do it again?
really quickly.
Really quickly.
really quickly. And so definitely stay tuned and check out the website. You can, catch some of your favorite segments, do some replays, and learn more about what the Al Rucker Show is up to.
All about baby. Baby. Oh, my bad.
We'll be back with more. Say goodbye.
Goodbye.
See y'all
Go on and
later.
sing us out of here, Grossman.
How do I?
It's
say
the Al Rucker
goodbye?
Show.
The Al Rucker Show.